You want to go see something mod? Come on.
It's time for Johnny's Desert Television Program.
Hi, welcome to the show. Well, it's Modernism Week October here in Palm Springs, and Modernism Week is a celebration of all things modern design, architecture, furniture, cars, you name it. You're looking pretty mod right now.
That's right, sweetie. I got my boots on, I got my dry martini, and I got my swinging shades. Let's get moving.
So we're ready for Modernism Week. Are you? Come on. Hello, it's Modernism Week here in Palm Springs. It's the Modernism October, actually. Modernism in October is a little shorter than Modernism in February, but there's just as much going on. So I got tickets for a couple of tours this weekend, and first off, we're going to go to Desert Lanai number 4. Now, Desert Lanai is a condo complex. It was built in 4 stages, 1, 2, 3, and 4. It was designed by Charles Dubois, and it was built by the Alexander Construction Company. And it was built in installments, as I said, between 1961 and 1966.
So here we are at Desert Lanai, and this is the central courtyard of the complex. And look at those mountain views. That's gorgeous. And here's the pool, and they had the pool all kind of filled with inflatables for the event. That was cute. And look at those mountain views again. Everybody who lives in Palm Springs wants that view from their backyard. Can you blame them? And here's that architectural detail that Charles Dubois was kind of famous for. People call it the Swiss Miss because it looks like an alpine ski lodge. And here is the central courtyard again. This is from the other side. Now let's go inside one of the units. Look at all that rock work, that brickwork outside with that stacked stone details. That's very mid-century, as is that breeze block. This house had a lot of contemporary and modern elements combined with a lot of vintage and retro elements. Really looked nice. Now in the kitchen here, they have that vibrant orange stove range with that matching hood. Isn't that fabulous? All your cocktail glassware ready and available. Now we're going to go down the hall and into the primary bedroom. Here it is. And over here on the wall was a little tribute to Valley of the Dolls. It's very funny. And there is the primary bathroom. Very nice. Now down the hall again. This is the guest bath, the hall bath. Also very nice, very contemporary, modern. And this is the guest bedroom. And it has a little access to a patio outside. Now back down the hall, and we're going back towards the kitchen and living area. And this is a separate living area off to the side. They're kind of using it as an office, but you could have it as a TV room or just an extra den. It's kind of separated by that curtain, and there's the kitchen and living area. Now this house had some very cool vintage pieces. It is so, look at all of that. That is very cool. All that, the vintage glassware and just everything. And this is a vintage record player and reel-to-reel player. Very nice. A little black and white photo of the complex. And this is the hall bath. Very vintage-looking medicine cabinet. And the sink had little metal legs on it, and that's very vintage feel too. And then this bedroom had a little surprise element. It had a sink right out in the room. Very vintage looking sink too. Very cool. Now this house I thought, had more of a kind of 70s vibe to it. It has the paver tiles on the floor, and it had like a lot of fiber art, and it just had this cool 70s vibe to it. See, here in the primary bedroom, you've got a hanging macrame plant holder. Very cool, very 70s. And this fiber art on the wall. And this is their patio with the breeze block. Now this house had a combo of vintage elements, contemporary elements, and it even had some fiber art as well. There you go. And this is their patio. This is the inside of the patio, really cool breeze block there. And then this is their entrance to their house. This is outside, and that breeze block on the other side of that is the patio we just saw. Now here you see this diamond-shaped form and that you see all through the complex on the sidewalks. And this house had a great combo of vintage, antique, and contemporary touches. And then the floors were terrazzo tiles. This is their patio. Again, the cool breeze block. And their kitchen was very sleek and modern and pretty. And here we'll go see, they have their little patio area, and I love that alternating painting of the bricks, different colors, very cool. And here we have a little Kleenex dispenser that looks just like the Swiss Miss.
Next, we're off to the Canyon View Estates, and they were designed by William Kreisel and built by Roy Fay. And these were built in 1964. And we're going to go to a cul-de-sac in the development, and they're actually having an event called Cul-de-sac Swingin' 66. So we're going to go inside some of the units, and they're going to be classic cars on display, and they're going to be go-go dancers. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come on.
And here we are at Canyon View Estates, and that car in the center on the turntable is a 1966 Dodge Charger Fastback Coupe. And here is a look at the cul-de-sac, and we'll be going in some of those houses and look at all the vintage cars. And here's a display on the history of the complex. He actually got a little book that has all this in it, and that was really cool. That station wagon is a 1964 Ford Country Squire, and it was filled with vintage luggage too, which was cool. This is a 1962 Divco Model 300E milk truck. Very cool. And this is a 1966 AMC Ambassador. While the go-go dancers dance, I'll tell you a little bit about the complex. As I said, it was designed by William Kreisel and built by Roy Fay. They were originally priced between $22,000 and $25,000. Can you imagine? They were all built with Waste King electric appliances, wall-to-wall carpeting, marble or terrazzo vinyl in the entryway and kitchen and baths. Some were upgraded with real terrazzo. They also came with genuine Formica countertops. This is a 1966 Chrysler Newport sedan. Very cool. And that color is called Crystal Blue. Now we're going to go inside the house. Here we are inside. Very cool, kind of contemporary mixed with retro and vintage. And all of the units, these units we're going to see, have this kind of raised clear story windows above that go all around the central living area. And you can peek at the mountain views through your clear story windows. Very Palm Springs. Here's the bedroom, and in back of the beds, you walk through here. Hello, there I am. And there's a closet right behind the beds. Here's a look at the patio, and you can see how large this complex is. This house had a 1966 Mustang convertible out front. And it has the pony interior, which means there are little horses that you can see embossed into the interior. This car was introduced at the New York World's Fair in 1964. There's the interior with the embossing. And now let's go into the house. This house is under renovation, so they called it the home of the future, the model home of the future. Here we see those clear story windows again, and some very cool vintage pieces. It was kind of sparsely decorated because it was still in progress. And here's a pan, you see all that cool breeze block and shadow block too. Here's a little pan around the cul-de-sac, and then we're off to see our next house. And here we are, cool vintage seating around this dining table. Very nice, and look at all this vintage furniture. This place had really cool vintage pieces. And I love that little window over the sink in the kitchen, and this jalousie window in the back door that looked out into this little patio, and I believe that was the laundry room, that door you see there. But that window is so vintage and cool. And here we have a 1966 Lincoln Continental convertible. Ooh, very cool. And here we have a 1965 Thunderbird Special Landau Coupe. And the Thunderbird was named after the famous Thunderbird Country Club in Rancho Mirage. Take a look inside. Super cool. This next house had the original fireplace that has been clad in stone, and we're going to pan over to see their patio area. Very nice. And here's a bedroom, and they had this cool little atrium outside the bedroom. I love those kind of things. And this house had a display of 1960s toys, memorabilia, and promotional items. Some are still in the original boxes, and some are still sealed. They represent pop culture phenomenon from the 1960s like Ratfink, Batman, the Monkees, Secret Agents, and more. Here we have a 1966 Chrysler New Yorker 4-door hardtop. I love that kind of creamy yellow color. This is a 1966 Plymouth Barracuda. It was designed to compete with a Mustang. And together with the folding rear seats and the length of the car, it was ideal for transporting surfboards. And how about a little bit more go-go action? And this was the final house that we got to go into, and look at all the vintage stuff. Very cool. And this is a peek out their patio at the complex. It is, like I said, it's a very massive complex. And you can see over there, those are the clear story windows that we saw. And you can see behind me the fabulous mountain views. Now we're going to go see one of the pools. Here we are by the pool with the mountain views and the mid-century architecture all around you. Very fabulous. If you haven't already, you might consider pressing the subscribe button and the like button. They both help me out and they're free. Thanks!
So thanks for joining me on this Modernism week in October. And if you're planning on coming to Palm Springs, you might consider either October or February during Modernism week. And you get to see a lot of things you don't regularly get to see, and there are a lot of tours and places that are open to the public to tours that aren't normally. So it's a good time to come. So thank you for joining me. I had fun doing this. I hope you had fun. And as always, love, be loved, and good night, Frank. But it has just as much going on in it as the regular